General Dwivedi is joining us on the broadcast. Group Captain Pandey is with us, and Major Mohammad Ali Shah is with us also, as well. Major Shah, before I get in the generals who are with us as well. Now, if indeed this is it, and like I said, my team on the ground and pretty much everybody is convinced that this is the actual video which is caught on camera, the crash happening. What do you make of it? Yeah, can we hear Major Shah, or are we having a difficulty there also?
No, I can hear you, Rishabh. I was waiting for you.
Major Shah, please go. Major Shah, please go ahead. That's for you, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, Rishabh. The fact, what I saw just now in the clipping, I have served in the Northeast, and in fact, I have served with General Dwivedi in the Northeast. In fact, there several times we met on the helipad when I would come with the corps commander, and General Dwivedi would be there at the helipad. So I have seen similar flights. Now, with the possibility here, what we saw the helicopter going the Mi-17 V5 going, it was reasonably not very high, disappearing in the clouds, and then after a few seconds, the explosion was heard. Crash hua hai kya? The guy asked. What could have happened? We don't know. The inquiry will tell.
If an important scientist dies in unnatural circumstances, or in suspicious circumstances, and here is a person very keen to upgradation, modernization and reform of all the armed forces, not just the army, and he's died in unnatural circumstances. Major Shah wants to make a point. Major, go ahead.
Rishabh, in the year 1993, Lieutenant General Jamil Mahmood, who was the Eastern Army commander, was flying in Northeast, Bhutan side, above, and he was designed to be the chief of the army staff as per the age. He was next in line. Now, there was a lot of suspicious. And I have full faith in the code of conduct of the military inquiry, of the code of inquiry, complete, 100%. It's totally unbiased and totally just. Whatever comes out is the gospel truth, is what I would say, going by my past experience. Now, what General Qadian said, well, that is the view of which major people would be having. That is the emotion of the people, yes. But as you rightly said, Rishabh, I do not know any code of inquiry in the past which has actually been made public. Even it can be a fracture of a hand, for example. When a soldier, even when he fractures his hand, there's a code of inquiry conducted for that. Whether he fractured his hand, whether it was attributable to military service or not. Now, when 93 this happened, and on 3rd February 2015, General Bipin Rawat had survived an air crash in Dinapur, Rangapad, Nagaland, the same place where General Dwivedi saw me serve as the ADC to GOC 3 Corps. Now, the weather in Northeast changes very frequently, yes, there's no doubt about it. In the South, Kunur, we say it's not like Northeast, but it is quite possible, it's quite likely that it could have been what I saw the video which Muskan had sent me on WhatsApp.
I asked her to, yes.
Yes. So I saw the video, and what I could hear, yes, you are right, absolutely, the aircraft is hovering, it's not moving at a speed, it's hovering, and then the tourists are rushing, and it crashes after that. And they ask in their Tamil language, was that a crash or not? Now, there could have been a short circuit in the aircraft. There could have been a short circuit due to some technical error. Now, what is that technical error?
Okay.
That's what the inquiry will tell. There could also be a possibility, which no one has analyzed so far. There are cases of accidental fire, even there are cases of a grenade.
I mean, it could be any of those things. Okay, so let me just touch upon this, Major Shah. Why was it important to create this post of CDS with a 4-star general or 4-star officer in charge of that post, as opposed to the Chief of Defence Staff's committee, which already existed?
Rishabh, history has proved itself time and again that any war, any battle cannot be won single-handedly alone. It's a teamwork. So now when we have a Indian defense, like in 1971, the Longewala battle, early week of December, the first week of December, when the Longewala battle started, we had also bombarded the port of Karachi. The Indian Navy had bombarded the port of Karachi. Now, the Indian Army and the Air Force fought together and they won the Battle of Longewala, right? Similarly, when we often talk that there should be somebody at the helm, say a defense minister, for example, there has been a lot of talk. He should be either a retired general from the army. A lot of people say that. But now, perhaps they would never make, the politician would never make a general a defense minister. Now, the post of defense secretary is very, very important. The moment you have a uniformed person, makes a lot of difference. The moment a uniformed person who has been to the same academy as you, the National Defence Academy or the Indian Military Academy, not necessarily, or the Officers Training Academy, and gone through the same rank structure, climbed the ladder as you, he knows the problems hands-on on ground. He knows exactly what, it's very easy to sit in an AC environment and press a button and say and call the shots. No. But when you have someone who has actually tasted the flavor on ground.
Yeah, everything can't be told in the public domain, but background briefings can be organized for the leaders of the opposition, etc., etc. But this is going to turn into VVIP chopper scam, and you did this and you did bigger scam and all of that, and why didn't we upgrade this and that? Is that reasonable? Should that happen, or will that be a distraction?
Not at all reasonable, Rishabh. Should not happen. It will be distraction. But let me tell you one more thing. I think the personality of General Bipin Rawat is overpowering all this, and it should not overshadow it. But yes, the politician, irrespective of whichever party they are, because Fauj, Army is a very, very apolitical organization. When I say Army, I mean the Air Force, Navy, the Defence Forces, basically. We can see what happened in Nagaland also. They were politicians willing to board flights and land up there immediately. The moment when the incident happened on 4th. So, but they were stopped from going there. That's a different thing. So, politicians will try to immediately take whatever will give them mileage. They are not bothered about soldiers. Soldiers' life is very cheap for that matter for them. They think, whereas soldiers are the real heroes of the nation. Be it a rifleman, be it the general on top. I think soldiers, for your tomorrow we gave our today. When you go home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrow we gave our today.
Okay, you know that the politics on this is going to happen. It's very easily predictable. Just like you predict that after what happened in Nagaland, it's going to become a debate over AFSPA. So now it's going to become about who did which scam and did not upgrade at what point of time under which government. So that's where the politics is headed. We don't want to get distracted by that. A part of it is reasonable. Politicians have to do what they have to do. That's fine. Part of it is a distraction. Now, the bottom line of all of this is that a person in a key post, a 4-star serving general, has died in a non-natural incident. This is not a medical condition. Even that would have to be investigated. But it's a crash. Anything could have happened, and we have to assume at this point of time that it could have been anything.